Well, the Moto G is now official, and they didn't just give us 2 versions, they gave us 3. We now have 3 Moto G phones for 2016, the Moto G4 Plus, the Moto G4, and the Moto G4 Play. The G4 Plus is definitely the highest end device out of the 3, while the G4 proper is still a great option but features slightly lesser specs. And while the G4 Play is the lowest end device of all 3, it still comes with specs and features that seem to be mostly in line with last year's Moto G. Starting out with the display, it's clear that Lenovo is focusing on bringing solid specs to the Moto G line this time around. Both the G4 and the G4 Plus sport 5.5-inch Full HD panels, while the 2015 Moto G has only a 5-inch 720 screen. In our full Moto G 2015 review, we noted that the screen was one of the least favorite parts of the device, so we're happy Lenovo decided to include bigger and better displays this year round. Last year's Moto G sported a 1.4 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 410 CPU with either 1 or 2 GB of RAM. The G4 and G4 Plus now both come with 1.5 GHz octa-core Snapdragon 617 processors with at least 2 GB of RAM. There's also a 4 GB option variant with the G4 Plus if you need something with a little bit more power. Now, in terms of onboard storage, the Moto G 2015 only came with 8 or 16 GB. It did have expandable storage up to 32 GB, though compared to other low to mid-tier devices on the market, these storage options could have been better. The Moto G4 and G4 Plus now both come with 16 or 32 GB of onboard storage, while the Plus also sports a 64 GB variant. Both new devices come with a microSD expansion slot up to 128 GB. More space is always a good thing. Now, if the images are correct, the new OnePlus 3 ditches its sandstone black finish in favor of an all-metal design. Overall, the design is more than a little bit different than its predecessor, though the front-facing fingerprint scanner can clearly be seen in the images here, and it's really no surprise to see this feature making a return. That's about all we can glean from the OnePlus 3 leaks, though we can turn to the rumor mill for a few other alleged specs. Rumors claim we'll be seeing 2 versions of the OnePlus 3, one with 4 GB of RAM and 32 GB of onboard storage, and the other with 6 GB of RAM and 64 GB of onboard storage. Pricing is expected to be aggressive as seen with its predecessor. There aren't too many solid rumors about the rest of specs, though a Snapdragon 820 is pretty likely. So what do you think about the OnePlus 3's design, provided these images are accurate? Do you think it's too early to talk about Samsung's next big thing? Well, like it or not, rumors about the Galaxy Note 6 are already coming in, and we have a doozy from Evan Blass, universally known to the tech world as Evie Leaks. The leaker claims Samsung will unveil the Note 6 in mid-August, just like it did with the Note 5 last year. Now, if Blass is correct, Samsung is about to repeat history with the Note 6, presumably launching ahead of IFA and the all-important fall iPhone release. It would give the device room to shine in a market where large screens have become the norm. So what else do we know about the Note 6? Well, fortunately for those of you who like your product launches unspoiled, the device is largely shrouded in mystery. But we do have a few clues. A couple reports point to the obvious: a similar design to the Galaxy S7, waterproofing, USB Type-C support, and a BlackBerry hub-like new app called Focus, which will reportedly consolidate messages from multiple apps. So who's excited for the Note 6?